How we doing?
Marlon, how did it feel to, the way last season ended for you, prematurely? How good does it feel to be healthy and back out there and taking as many reps as you did tonight?
It feels good. It feels really good to be back. I think, of course, nobody was too happy with how things ended. I know my season ended early, so I'm thankful to just be back playing ball, being healthy, and being with the guys.
Marlon, they asked Mark this about, no one would be angry if Mark didn't show up to OTAs. Why is it important that you show up here? The same goes for that.
For me, just getting back into the swing of things, and also, just they pay me a decent amount of money, so I think I can show up to some of the. I think it's really important whether you do all of it, a little bit of it. I think it's really key just to at least show up, whether you do a week, 2 weeks. I just think, these guys, they invest a lot into you, the organization. So I think, you could show up some. I think the guy. I know everybody trains differently. Some guys don't come. Some guys feel they can get training elsewhere. But nothing's better than practicing and training with the people you're going to be with all year. And I think it's never too early to start the chemistry with not only the players but the coaching staff. Getting on a plan with Sarah, the nutritionist. Getting a plan with Dr. Trish, mental health. There's just so many different things and resources here that you'll deal with the entire season for, 6 months that I think getting a head start on that is always a good thing to do.
A lot of good players in that secondary to work on that chemistry. What are your impressions so far of some of the guys?
I like it. I think, Pepe, some of the young corners we got, Kyle, safety, Marcus will be here next week. I'm getting on a call with Kyle today, so excited. I've heard a lot about him. I've heard he's really smart player, so I know with Marcus coming back, really smart guy. Kyle, really smart guy. Chuck, I think that's enough smarts where I can just play ball. So I'm really excited about some of the guys that are here, the young guys, and some of the guys that will be here next week working with us.
And given the way that obviously the injury is a huge part of that, but the secondary, struggled because so many absences for the offense, for DeCosta to address it so aggressively. Say, all right, as a leader of that group, how does that feel?
It feels good. I think we definitely had some letdowns last year in the secondary, especially. We lose Jimmy kind of, so we're kind of revamping, getting some guys back healthy, adding a couple pieces. So I'm really excited about the guys we've put in the draft and the guys we picked up free agency.
Marlon, obviously you guys were familiar with Mike Macdonald before, but him coming in as defensive coordinator now, what have been your early impressions as far as, how much change there could be with the defensive system?
I'm excited. I'm really excited for Mike, coach I liked when he was here. I know he went to Michigan and did well there. They won their conference and everything. So I really just like the flexibility that I've been seeing with what he's been doing. I think the vision kind of that I've seen, I think we want to have it to where any DB could play any position at any time. I think that's kind of the vision I've seen behind it. I think I'm getting reps inside, get some reps at safety, get some reps here. Chuck come down, play corner. So I think that flexibility is going to make us be able to do a lot of good things in the secondary. And then also just the difference of just changing up looks. A lot of times if you show this, you play this. You show this, you play this. Sometimes we'll show opposites. Sometimes we'll show this. Sometimes we'll show exactly what we're doing. So I think it'll definitely keep the offense guessing a lot more than what we've been in the past. So a couple different things that I've seen so far, but I've really liked kind of the flexibility of what Mike and Harbs and what everybody's kind of a joint effort has brought to our defense.
Marlon, because of injuries, you have played a fair amount in the slot role in years past. Do you like that kind of do you like bouncing inside, outside, kind of doing a little bit of both?
I think early on when they first asked me to do that, I was like, what is going on? Why would they? But I think, it goes back to me when I was at Alabama. I redshirted my freshman year, and I remember going into that spring. I just remember talking to myself and thinking to myself, man, when I get the chance to play, it doesn't matter what position they ask me to play. I'm just going to play it and do the best that I can. And so I think ever since then, it hasn't really mattered what position anybody asks me to play. I'll always try to do what I can. And just give the best ability that I can. So for me, it doesn't even matter where I play. If they tell me to put my hand in the dirt, then I'm gonna have to say something. But it just that year at Bama, man, just changed a lot for my mindset and just made me be thankful for any time a coach asks me to just go out there and be able to start.
What happened on the play itself where you got hurt? It looked like football play that you've been involved with 100 times already.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know. Just injuries happen, so it just looked like a traditional thing, but just got injured.
Well, you mentioned that each guy has an individual approach to how they train and whether they should attend OTAs. When it's a quarterback, does that resonate differently in the locker room that Lamar's not here? Just as a veteran, you tell them.
I think the guys that are here are kind of the guys that are here. I know Lamar's been training a lot, but I think we've had a big attendance. I know Lamar will be here soon, so it doesn't really. I guess when things are really going flying in training camp, if it was training camp, it'd be really bad. But I think as long as guys are working, no matter where they are, I think that's the biggest key. As long as you're working, I spoke with Lamar early in the offseason. He said he'll be coming in, so we'll look really excited to get him out here. I know Snoop's been doing a really good job, kind of running with the ones and everything. And like we said, man, injuries happen. I think we saw that last year. So anytime somebody can get reps in someone's place, I think it's always good for the future of the season. Whether COVID should be over, I think, so there'll be no more COVID games, hopefully. But I think anytime you can get some reps for somebody, it's always good to get those reps.
Marlon, with the addition of Kyle Fuller and you coming back, Marcus and the safeties, there's talk, hey, could the Ravens have the best secondary in the league? Is that something that you guys kind of want to put out there and prove to people that, hey, we can be that kind of unit?
I would love to prove it. That's the biggest thing for me. I would love to make that statement be true. I know there's a lot of work to go into it with me coming back from injury, Marcus coming back from injury, a rookie Kyle Hamilton, a vet Chuck that's really led our defense the past couple of years. I know we have all the pieces, so I think it's all really down to the players to just go out there, communicate, be fundamentally sound, and prove it. I think we're in a position that I can't recall we've been in before with just who we have, and I think it'll all just come down to us.
Marlon, 2020 was a big turnover year for you last year. Turnovers was an issue for this defense. Has that been one of the biggest points of emphasis so far this year?
Very big kind of mission on the forefront are turnovers. I think it's crazy when you look at great defenses. You look at that. I've been since that 30 for 30 just got announced it was coming out. I was unaware of how special that defense was. As a coming from Alabama, we don't watch too much NFL, so I knew nothing about it. But I'm hearing sometimes the only two scores would be 2 defensive touchdowns or something like that, and I'm like, crap, man. So it's that group has really inspired me. Led by Ray and all those great players. I think there's just so many things I'm so excited about this year. I'm excited to see PQ take a big step. I'm excited for me to take a step, getting back to where I was. Excited for Marcus to get back healthy. So many different guys that I just see leading our defense, making those plays that kind of gotten us the names we've gotten. So turnovers are a huge thing for us. We want to preach turnovers, think turnovers. I might be walking the cafeteria, hit somebody's lunch plate out of their hand trying to get a forced fumble. So that's a really big thing for us. I think you can have a great fundamentally sound defense, but if you have no turnovers, your defense still just kind of is just whatever. So I think turnovers is the name of the game, and that's what we can't go too crazy in OTAs, of course, because of contact, but I think training camp, we're going to be some pests on the offense. So hopefully we don't get too many on our offense, but hopefully it translates to the season and we get a lot.
Hey Marlon, as far as production talking about, how you feel about Studio 44? Do you have any feedbacks from people? You see this doing in the future?
Yeah, it's been great, actually. I've really enjoyed that. I've also, it's like, I know my teammates, but I've started to learn them a lot more by sitting in front of them, asking them some questions. So it's been really good kind of being on the other side of interviewing guys and different things. There's some guys that might have to ask every day to join. Marcus Peters is at the top of that list. I'll be trying to get Lamar once he gets back, and a couple other guys that I'll have to annoy quite a bit. So, but it's been really cool to get that experience. That's a dream job of mine to kind of be in media after football. So, getting my reps now, and while I'm kind of still in it and kind of learning those early on, mistakes and things to learn. I know in every business of life, no matter what occupation, there's so many things you learn when you're young in that career. So that's kind of the goal of that. But so far, I've really enjoyed it.
Well, a
Jimbo
couple
Fisher on.
answers ago, you said to get back to where I was. Did you look at yourself hard, like, you know, this offseason about things? I know your standards are really high, so just curious about how you approached, how you plotted to play last year, and what you can do to, as you said, put it where I was.
Yeah, I just wanted to, you know, get back to just playing, you know, really good football. You know, for me, I think a lot of I've never been a 10 interception guy. You know, I've really just, my biggest goal has been to just play fundamentally sound, and that's just doing my job, locked in, hands-on, technique. And so I think, you know, it got a little sloppy last year before I, you know, got hurt early on. So for me, just getting back to that, just having fun playing ball. I think I've always been having fun, but it's a lot more fun when you're making plays as opposed to when you're kind of getting out of, you know, the base you've kind of built yourself upon. So just getting back to that is what I'm really excited about.
You mentioned the defense wanting to be plug and play, whether you're a slot guy, you can play outside, vice versa. You know, first half of last year, there were some breakdowns in communication, it seemed like, before the snap. With the defense and Mike Macdonald, does it change what you, like the expectations for you guys in terms of what you need to know how to do before the snap, or you know, kind of how you handle your little coverage zone?
He's actually doing a unique job I've kind of never experienced. He's really having everybody understand the whole philosophy of mainly just the group of a coverage. As opposed to you got this call. How do you play this call? He's kind of saying, grouping these calls all together, like what is the whole idea of this call? So I think he's done a really good job of kind of really helping us all be smarter to where I know what the D-line's doing, I also know what the linebacker's doing, I also know what the safety's doing, because it's this. The reason why I call this defense is because of this. And so it's been really unique, and I think I really like how he did the early on part of the offseason program of kind of just, you know, explaining different things to us and kind of making us a smarter football player. And then as OTAs have started, he's kind of started putting the calls to paper and then grouping it all together. So it's been really good the way he's kind of taught us.
All right, thank you, Marlon.
All right, thank you guys.